Tristan and Andrew Tate have been arrested. This is what really being arrested, really being banned from a country looks like. Not that phony, false, and fake stuff that somebody else has been peddling. Let's check this out.
Breaking news to get to, though, as this is coming into our newsroom just in the last couple of moments. This post coming from TMZ saying, breaking, Andrew and Tristan Tate have been arrested in Miami. We also have this post coming from the New York Post. Manosphere influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate arrested by U.S. Marshals in Florida. The Associated Press is reporting influencer brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate were arrested by federal authorities on Saturday in Miami. That's according to the U.S. Marshals Service. The charges against the pair were not immediately announced, but a spokesperson for the Marshals Service is telling the Associated Press that the warrant was sealed. I want to put up some video on your screen right now of the Tate brothers. They were arrested on extradition request from the UK. That's according to a person who is familiar with the matter, who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to publicly discuss this case. The brothers, proponents of hypermasculinity, who have millions of followers on social media, have been wanted in the United Kingdom, where they face rape and human trafficking charges. The brothers are dual U.S. and British citizens who moved to Romania in 2016. They were arrested there in 2022, accused of participating in schemes to lure women for sexual exploitation. They denied those allegations, and the case did not go forward because legal and procedural irregularities. The former professional kickboxers have amassed a following of fans, particularly young men and boys, by professing a lifestyle of luxury and unapologetic misogyny. The pending charges in the UK accuse the brothers of abusing women between 2012 and 2015 in an area north of London where they grew up. Their lawyers have said that they denied the allegations. We also have this coming in from the Crown Prosecution Service, who has decided to bring additional charges against the brothers, Andrew and Tristan Tate. Following their arrest, prosecutors will seek extradition in relation to the original charges and the further charges they have authorized. So just reading from their website, once again, they're deciding to bring those further charges against the brothers, Andrew and Tristan Tate, in relation to 4 further victims. The CPS deciding to prosecute Andrew Tate, who is 39, with 7 further counts of rape.
This is
3
crazy.
counts of arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation, 3 counts of assault, and bodily harm, and 19 additional charges for offenses relating to indecent images of children and extreme pornography. The CPS deciding to prosecute Tristan Tate, who is 38 years old, with 1 count of sexual assault, 2 counts of rape, and 3 counts of arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation. The offending is alleged to have taken place between July of 2010 and August of 2017.
Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan have just been arrested in Miami, and it looks like these are related to very, very serious charges that they've been.
We're going to pick up with this gentleman right here. And again, we're going to look at some more of those charges that are being levied against them. These are some pretty egregious charges, and quite a few of them indeed. Let's go.
Ducking for years in the United Kingdom, and it seems like the UK have now backdoored. They've given the old reach around to the Romanian authorities and said, you know what? We're tired of waiting for your nonsense, letting Andrew Tate and his brother fly around the world, going to Dubai, going to all these different countries, USA. We were waiting for you guys to have your trial in Romania first, but the UK have basically said, no, we're going to put new, even more serious charges on the Tates, and we're going to ask the US to extradite them back to England, and it looks like that's what's happening. We're going to be seeing Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate touching down on the wing in the UK very soon. This is insane. So this is TMZ that's just reported it, and they posted the footage too, and this says Andrew and Tristan Tate have been arrested in Miami. Here is how it went down.
Mr. Tate, would you mind signing?
Take. Look at them pants.
So these look like U.S. Marshals, okay? That looks like one of his homies. What's that? Is that Justin Waller? He stepped out with some big old chains on, and he's taking the chains off of him now. And it looks like he was pretty baffled. He was caught off guard. He hopped out the SUV, had no idea this was about to happen. Look at this. I'm going to play that again and we'll keep going.
Mr. Tate, would you mind signing?
Tate.
Yeah, they do look confused. Especially that guy in the black with the white beard. He looks confused. I'm confused. Can't think of a better person.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Hey, Andrew.
It's an evil world we live in.
Tristan, anything to say?
If I was a gold jacket, I'd try to get out of there as quick as I can. They're going to get me too.
It's crazy, man. Honestly, it's unbelievable to actually see them being led away like this. So it looks like we're seeing this the same thing already. So
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
So you can see Tristan wearing the suit. He shaved his head recently. And that's him being led away as well. Absolute carnage, man. Chaos. So look, they've been arrested, all right? They were apparently supposed to be co-hosting a bare knuckle boxing event. They were taken into custody Saturday outside the James L. Knight Center, an event space in the downtown area of the South Florida city where the IBA Bare Knuckle 6 was set to go down. They were supposed to be there. Now, those are more photos of them being arrested. It's looking very, very serious. They fucked around and found out. Now, it's been confirmed that basically it says a member of law enforcement tells the assembled crowd back up as the agents checked behind their ears, loading them into the several cars. Law enforcement confirmed it was the U.S. Marshals that carried out the arrests. The charges are not known this time, but I'll tell you about them in a minute because I've got the details. But it says the pair of brothers have had legal troubles for years, including several months in a Romanian prison in early 2023, where they were indicted on trafficking charges in the Eastern European country. Andrew and Tristan returned to the U.S. early 2025, insisting they were innocent shortly after their plane landed in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now, what happened is they got arrested on these trafficking charges in Romania, and they told a bunch of lies about them and said, we're innocent, there's no evidence. We are still facing those charges, and those charges are still currently unresolved. And while that was going on, they were basically being accused of the R word and other crimes against women in the UK. Now, as much as you want to say you love Andrew Tate and his comments, and he's such a cool, interesting guy, he's admitted and he snitched on himself, particularly in that Fresh and Fit interview, about several incidents where it sounded like he committed crimes. Getting these girls on OF and on these webcam sites and taking all of their money is not cool. It's fraudulent. You're enslaving these women. That's not cool. Having situations where these girls are on webcam sites and you're not letting them leave the property, that's not cool. You're imprisoning these women against their will, getting them drunk, getting them to make money for you. It's not cool. Allegedly, the R word was taking place. It sounds like some of these accounts are credible. Maybe there were some non-credible accounts against the Tates, but it does sound like a lot of the accounts that I've heard, especially in the UK cases, were credible. He did have a description of an incident that he described. I've seen him describe in podcasts years ago before he truly blew up, scenarios where it sounded like he was manhandling and physically abusing women. So they were authorized 21 charges in the UK, but apparently there are now more charges that have been authorized. So this is basically the official update from the UK's Crown Prosecution Service. So this was the first press release that they released, saying the Crown Prosecution Service has decided to bring additional charges against the brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate. Following their arrest, prosecutors will seek extradition in relation to the original charges and the further charges they've authorized. So this was today, just about an hour or so ago. Okay, they've confirmed that there will be new charges. I believe this is more information on those charges. So this is more information. So I'll tell you about the charges, and it's serious. It's really serious. And this isn't no, backroom Romanian courthouse. They're going to be facing real English Crown prosecution. They're facing the Queen's lawyers, right? They're facing the state of the United Kingdom. This is going to be tough, and they're not going to be able to talk any shit about this either. And it definitely ain't going to be no bail after they've been on the run for so many years from these serious charges. Says the CPS. This is why they moved to Romania. It doesn't take a genius to work out what the fuck were they doing in Romania. They moved to Romania to duck charges in England that they've been ducking for years. Okay, damn near a decade. So the CPS decides to prosecute the Tate brothers with additional sexual offences. The Crown Prosecution Service has decided to bring further charges against brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate in relation to 4 further victims. The CPS has decided to prosecute Andrew Tate, 39, with 7 further counts of RAPE.
Wow.
Yes, they're saying he did it. All right. And I'm telling you, we don't know exactly the whole story yet, but he snitched on himself in podcasts and hinted towards some of these things happening in the past. I'll be real with you. 3 counts of arranging and facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation, 3 counts of assault occasioning actual bodily harm, 19 additional charges for offences relating to indecent images of a young'un, and extreme no. Okay.
Wow.
This is the thing with the Tates. It's all well and good. They're doing podcast Aikido, ducking all the charges they possibly can duck. But the reality is they made their money in the early stages doing some very nefarious things. It's all well and good. We all worship money. Oh, they're so rich. He's got a Bugatti. But if you are taking women from other places, putting them in a building, not letting them leave and making them get busy on sexual webcam services, you are a S trafficker. That's plain and simple. All right. And this is a lot of this was going on before he was famous. The CPS decided to prosecute Tristan Tate, too, age 38, with 1 count of SA, 2 counts of R word, 3 counts of arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation. They're not going to be able to, I don't think they're going to be able to beat this. The offending is alleged to have taken place between July 2010 and August 2017. The suspects were arrested by the U.S. Marshal Service in the United States of America on July the 18th, 2026. Following their arrest in the U.S., prosecutors will be seeking extradition in relation to the original 21 charges and the further charges that we've decided to prosecute. This is why this is so interesting, because originally they basically said they were going to wait for the Romanian authorities to prosecute their case and these charges would come after. Well, now it seems like they've said, you know what? Tate's swanning around the world. We're going to put even more serious charges on him. We're going to supersede the Romanian situation because he's been clearly ducking absolutely everything, and Romania is letting him have his way. So this is the original AP article from a year ago where it says, lawyer says the Tate brothers will return to the UK to face R and trafficking charges. So this was like over a year ago on May 29th, 2025. And they basically said that they will have to return to Britain and fight these charges, their lawyer said Thursday, but they were very slick. So the prosecutors authorized charges in January 2024, but because they moved to Romania in 2016, and bear in mind, all right, it's all making sense. So these crimes took place between July 2010 and August 2017.
Yeah,
well, they ducked out and moved to Romania in 2016. Duh, dodging these charges. Who wants to live in Romania, bro? Bro, come on. Look, I'm not going to offend anyone, but you don't move from the UK to Romania for nothing, all right? The Crown prosecution didn't announce the charges involving several women until Wednesday. Lawyers said the brothers are facing charges in Romania at a disadvantage because British prosecutors haven't shared information with them about the charges. This is a load of nonsense. They've been ducking these charges for years. We're not even being told who the victims are. They did this whole misdirection thing where they basically said, what victims? There's no victims. It's all made up. What victims? Don't tell us who the victims are. That's not how it works in the UK. That's just not how it works. Say what you want. I'm not a fan of how the UK does things, but that's not how it works. The charges were the charges, and they was ducking them. Okay. So this was a year ago that all of these things were brought up, but essentially it was ruled that they were essentially planning to fight their Romanian trial, basically, and go and face these charges afterwards. So this was a ruling actually before those last charges were formally announced. The Romanian court granted the UK's request to extradite Andrew Tate, but only once the local legal cases were concluded. So they basically said, look, we'll send them over there. We'll send them over there, but we have to finish what we have going on against them in Romania. And that worked in their favor because the Romanian situation had been longed out for a hell of a long time. And basically they said, look, you're going to have to sort this out first. And ironically, what was really interesting, back in February 2025, basically the alleged victims in the UK case said the US must not interfere. So there was rumors that they were going to try and extradite them if you popped up in America. And basically they were saying that there was originally rumors that they were going to stay in the US, they were going to hide out in the US, they were going to never come back, they were going to go to Dubai and never come back. And so the women in his cases basically said they don't want the US to interfere in his case. You know, there was rumors that US officials had asked Romania to relax the travel restrictions against the Tate. He's got friends at the very top in the UK. In the United States, and it's very possible that they were kind of, you know, playing softball when it came to what was going on in Romania, but that was not allowed to continue because the US government and the UK government have a much better relationship than the Romanians. Okay, so let me continue with what was said here by the prosecutor of this case. Basically,
this is crazy.
So Malcolm McAfee, the head of the Special Crime Division at the Crown Prosecution Service, said, we've decided to prosecute Andrew and Tristan Tate for further offences, including the R word, arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation, and offences relating to the indecent images of a young'un. These charging decisions followed the receipt of further file of evidence from the Bedfordshire Police to bring the total number of alleged victims in this case to 7. The Crown Prosecution Service reminds everyone that criminal proceedings are active and that the defendants have a right to a fair trial. It's extremely important that there be no reporting, commentary, sharing of information online in any way that would prejudice these proceedings. So you lot aren't going to be able to talk about this situation. If you're in the UK, you're not even going to be allowed to talk about this situation. They're going to gag you. They're not going to let you talk about it. You know,
it's extremely important that there be no reporting, commentary, or sharing of information online. How do you know that's only in the UK, though? How do you do that? How do you make a global gag order? What is that? How does that work? I don't know about that one. Well, clearly they're not going to stream this one. That we know.
That sweet American freedom of speech might be coming in handy sometime soon. But anyway, I won't say too much. All right, I won't say too much. But the way things are done in the UK are absolutely non-transparent. Okay, you're not even there's no reporting, commentary, or sharing of information online that could prejudice these proceedings.
Wow,
give me a break, man. Give me a break, because in the UK, bro, Andrew Tate's done a million bits of commentary that would prejudice these proceedings. So he might even be in trouble for you know, contempt of court or however they want to do it. But that sweet American freedom of speech is going to come in handy. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, it's now illegal to do commentary. You can't even report, commentate, or share information. That's how they get down in the UK. Just so you know, that's how they get down.
Global
CPS
has
requested the extradition of the Tates from the US. They've been arrested and await extradition proceedings. All right. Note to the editors: Tristan Tate previously had 11 counts against him, including 3 counts of the R word, 6 counts of actual bodily harm, and 2 counts of human trafficking. Tate previously had 10 charges against him, 3 of the R word, 4 counts of actual bodily harm, 2 counts of human trafficking, and 1 for controlling prostitution for gain. The previous charges relate to 3 victims. The new charges relate to a further 4 victims. That's 7 victims. The function of the CPS is not to decide whether a person is guilty of a criminal offense, but to make fair, independent, and objective assessments about whether it's appropriate to present charges for a criminal court to consider. The CPS assessment of the case is not in any sense a finding or implication of any guilt or any criminal conduct. It's not a finding of fact, which can only be made by a court, but rather an assessment of what it might be possible to prove in a court in accordance with the code for the Crown prosecutors. Very interesting. Very interesting. I might need to speak to a lawyer and work out if I can even report on this, because it's no secret I'm in the US. All right. So all you UK media crime channels, you might need to shut the hell up on this one, and we're going to see if we can report on this in the US. And let's find out whether that American freedom of speech really works, or if the UK can bully people in the United States into losing their freedom of speech rights while on American soil. It will be a very interesting case. The coverage of it will be very interesting, and I will be keeping you guys up to date on this whole thing as much as I possibly can. But I might not be going back to the UK to report on this one because they might throw me in jail for just having an opinion. It's a clown world over there. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video.
Well, thank you, Trap Moss Ross, I believe his name is Trap More Ross. Great comments, great commentary. I'm looking forward to seeing how this works out. But again, this is what happens when somebody's really being accused of something and there's some real bona fide paperwork on her or his behavior. Not this foolish clown world stuff that we've been talking about, but this is some real bona fide paperwork. And I can't wait to see what happens. So let me know, comment down below. We'll try to maybe keep up with this, maybe make a little update every now and then. And we will not be going to the UK to report on it for sure. But let me know what you think. Comment down below. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for tapping in. Until next time, grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Whip Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.